this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a great day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. Well, today I want to talk about black women who have no love for black men. This is a fairly recent phenomenon that black women have started divesting from black men, and some of them are doing it with a vengeance. The other day, I posted a video about Russell Simmons and his ex-wife, Kimora, and their younger daughter, Ayoka. I believe that's how it's pronounced. And they're having this grand meltdown on social media about who knows what. Russell Simmons is clearly upset about money, and he's demeaning and degrading Kimora, and the daughter is upset about it because the family dynamics have just broken down to the point that she has taken to social media and she gives a rambling statement about him abusing her. And I'm still going to say she didn't say what the abuse was. It was verbal abuse according to her. But what I heard was him abusing the mother verbally. And so y'all can, people telling me that she said what the abuse was. She did not say what the abuse was for her, as far as I could tell. But I said that it was about money, and I still believe all of it was about money. Well, it's about money and the fact that he's taking Kimora back to court, trying to get her locked up over money. At the end of the day, it was about money because these people have been interacting since 1997. The mother and father have been. And the girls are old enough to have graduated from college. So this has been going on for a long time. And since they are divorced, it seems to me you get divorced because you can't work out your family problems. So if you get divorced, that's one way of resolving it. But they continue to be involved in business matters, and that comes back to money. But these divester black women types came after me, first of all, telling me that this girl had done several videos about what the abuse was that he had done. Well, I don't have to listen to 15 videos. If she spelled out what the abuse was, somebody would have already put it out there. So I won't have to go watch 15 videos about her dragging her father. And also, somebody told me I shouldn't be speaking on issues to do with people who live in New York. What she said specifically was these Southern people shouldn't be speaking about things that go on in New York because we don't live in New York and we don't know the backstory. Well, I probably know about as much about those people's business as you do because they're putting it on social media. You're not privy to any more of these people's business than somebody that lives outside of New York. Because for all of these people out here talking, if they really knew what was going on with this man, and if they really had some evidence, he would be indicted, convicted, and locked up. So, miss me with the bullshit. A lot of black women believe Kimora, and they have taken her side, and they're talking about him marrying her when she was 16. That was not against the law, and that was something she wanted to do. She married him, and she stayed with him for 10 years. After divorcing him, she still continued a business relationship with him. If he was such a horrible person and such a predator, and he was abusing her children, why the hell did she do that? Why didn't she leave, and why didn't she get a restraining order against him to protect herself and her children? That's my question. If he's that bad of a guy, you cannot like black men, but you could still see another side of an issue. Nobody knows everything that's going on within that family except them. And I seriously doubt that those girls know all of the shenanigans that have gone on with their mother and their father and her companions. The mother has been out there doing stuff, and that's also come out in court too. And because you don't like black men or you don't like that man, and you don't want to look at that side of it, you don't have to. Russell Simmons and Kimora have a long history together, and it just went sour after she got tied up with that white man and sold stock from one of his companies to keep him out of jail. Now, he could have been a horrible person all of the time that she's been involved with him, but she wasn't saying that until she got in trouble. If he was such a horrible person, why are we just now hearing about it from her? Now, everybody knows a story about him, let them tell it. But the proof is in the pudding. The way you prove somebody is doing something or has done something is that you go to court. You go to the police like these white women would do. Go to the police. And even if they don't do anything immediately, you got that on record. Because look what happened to Bill Cosby. Those women were going to the police. And it took a long time to take him down, but they took him down. He had a history and they had the records to prove it. And in the fullness of time, he ended up in jail. So even though you don't like this man, you still got to look at that woman. And I'm not willing to give her the benefit of the doubt because she was 16 when he married her. Because according to him and her, he went to her mother and asked if he could marry her. And her mother gave permission. And let's just be clear about this. They did that because of the money. If he had been a 32-year-old maintenance man working anywhere in the country, she would not have wanted him and her mother would not have given him permission to marry her 16-year-old daughter. There are a lot of people who have a lot to say about this family's dynamics. The father, the mother, and the children. When children get involved with a marriage between parents like that, it's usually because both parents have involved those children. And I believe that's the same thing here. And just because you decide that you're only going to look at one side of the story doesn't mean that that's what everybody's going to do. I don't know anything about this man. All these people that want to be in show business are getting tied up with these sleazy men. They know these men are creeps. They know they're predators, and they still get tied up with them. And the only time they talk about these men, or only time they go public with what they know about these men, is when their relationship with these men failed for some reason. And the issue I'm raising in this video is with black women who don't love black men and they don't give black men the benefit of any doubt in any situation. I actually understand those black women to a certain extent. I'm not a divester, and I do love black men. I have love for black men and for the black family, but I know that black men have disappointed black women, and these black men, like Russell Simmons and others who have chosen non-black women as their lifetime partners, have totally disgusted black women, and I understand how they feel. Black women have lost confidence in black men, and black women have lost respect for black men. I believe that there are black men who think that doesn't matter, that they don't need the respect of black women. And what they're going to discover, and it's going to be at their detriment, is that if black women don't respect them, neither is anybody else going to respect them. And they're seeing that, they just aren't able to process that. Because I heard O'Shea talking about black men in the Philippines, talking about people taking advantage of them, not really understanding those people don't have any respect for you. Black men have a reputation and they have a history, and other people are not going to ignore that. So where black women have held black men and their relationships with black men in high esteem and highly valued them, other women have not done so. And we're beginning to see the price that black men are paying for yearning for these other groups of women. We just heard the other day that Scottie Pippen's ex-wife is entitled to half of his pension. Now, these high-flying ballers don't seem to place a high value on their money when they're playing. But in retirement, they need every dime they can get because, as we know, 5 years after they retire, most of them are in bankruptcy. So it wouldn't be a stretch to say that he needs all of his retirement money. So that's a pretty good payday for her, but it's a pretty bad loss for him. And these black women who have divested are not showing any concern for these black men who are taking losses because of these so-called preferences. Kim Kardashian is going to end up with most of whatever Kanye West has got, whatever he's got left. And we just see this happening over and over and over again. Take Jonathan Majors, the very successful actor at the top of his game. And guess who he had on his arms? A Becky. And now he's got a case against him because of this white woman. And now he's flouncing around with Megan Good, trying to rehabilitate his reputation, hopefully his career. And so black women who don't love black men are upset about Megan Good being with that guy. It's like, let him go to jail. Or let Becky come and save a Negro. These divesting black women are in combat mode. They have seen black women take abuse. They have seen their mothers, their grandmothers, their aunts, their sisters, and in some cases themselves take abuse at the hands of black men. They have seen the neglect that black men are willing to leave black women and the black community in while they go off and chase behind whatever it is they're chasing behind. So now this divestment group of black women and the black women who have truly lost confidence in black men are just really giving black men the middle finger. But it wouldn't be so bad if black men would just go on off with their preferences and leave black women alone. But they always come back talking about black women. This YouTuber that I listen to sometimes, who has some good content on his channel, but he's married to a Mexican or a Chinese or somebody like that, and he's always meddling into black women's business. And that, for me, who is not a divester, that ticks me off. I'm like, what are you talking about black women for? Why don't you talk about the Mexican women? How come you don't ever do any content on them, or the Chinese women, or whatever it is he's married to? He's always talking about black women. And every time they talk about how to solve problems in the black community, it's always got something to do with black women. Well, black women need to stop buying weave. That's all they can ever come up with. So that's not a serious strategy when you're talking about trying to repair a community. If the only solution to your problems is what the women are doing with their hair, that is not a serious solution to the problems. And I'm going to add this for anybody who needs to know. Black men that like black women do not care how they wear their hair, whether it's weave, wigs, natural, braids, flat iron, press and curl. However they wear their hair is not going to affect how that man feels about her if he likes her. But it's going to take something for black women to restore their confidence and their respect for black men. And black men are going to have to do something at this point. And I know it's not going to be all of them, but there needs to be enough of them to do something to regain the respect and the goodwill of black women. Because I know that a lot of men don't want to accept this, but if the women in your race don't support you, nobody else is going to respect you. In the case of white people, we always use white people as an example. White women have been complicit, beneficiaries, and participants in everything that white men have done in the world to take over and get the power that they have in the world. White women have been by their side, supporting them and egging them on. The fact that black men want to see white women as anything but supporters and comrades of white men speaks to a disorder called delusion, because they have been absolutely a part of everything that white men have done, and I don't see that changing. So for black men to get anywhere, the first thing they're going to have to do is regain the trust and respect of black women. And I say this in love, because I believe in black people, I believe in black women, and I believe in black men. But black men have gotten so far out there because many of them have crafted an imaginary world in their minds that doesn't exist. This world that we live in is about people getting resources for themselves and their kind. Chancellor Williams' book, The Destruction of Black Civilization, speaks to invaders coming into the lands that black people live in, taking over the resources, destroying the culture, and even the look, the racial makeup of the people in that land. Nobody is trying to find a way to live peacefully with black people. All you have to do is look at Africa. So I give the black women who have no love for black men credit for shining a light on the problem. And what I hear them saying is these disloyal black men, when they go out there and get in trouble, do not offer them a lifeline. Do not give them a life jacket. Let them sink if they can't swim and forget about them. And I will admit, when these men have gone out, especially when they flaunted these other races of women and talked about how great they were and why they can't get along with black women, how they can't deal with black women, when they bite the dust, I don't feel bad for them either. I have to be honest, I do not feel bad for them. So the spotlight is on black women who have no love for black men. And I'm wondering where this is going to go. Black men, what are you going to do? And black women, are you going to compromise? Those are the questions. Okay, y'all, thank you for listening. Let me know what you think about the video. Subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, share the video, and as always, have a great day.